All right, so we are live. Thank you everyone for joining. This is probably like I don't know, like an online event, and probably there are gonna be people joining from all over the world. I know that people from Madrid are joining. Probably people from Montreal, from GDG Montreal are also joining. People from GDG Glasgow probably joining. So yeah, welcome everyone. This is an event as part of the Gemini hackathon that we are running in the official Google Discord. So yeah, if any of you didn't hear about this, just please go to the official Google Discord. I will share the link in a bit, but join there, and there are two channels that are basically for the hackathon that you can still join. There are, I think, 2 weeks remaining, and yeah, you can build cool stuff using Gemini. And speaking of Gemini, today we have with us Leslie is joining from Bolivia, and she is gonna start talking about how to build an MVP using Gemini. So for all the ones that are participating in the hackathon, this is gonna be really useful. And yeah, Leslie, I'm gonna share your screen, and yeah, feel free to introduce yourself. You are mute.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Hello from Bolivia. I'm in South America. It's almost midday. Yeah, midday here. And I'm super excited to be joining and to share a little bit about how to build this MDP and how to get started with these interesting tools on Gemini and Gima. Sorry for the title. I think I mistyped with the Spanish, but I'll fix it for you to share it. Just a quick introduction. I'm part of the global network for Google developer experts in the field of AI and machine learning. And this has been really excited since in this network, you get to know other experts and professionals around the world who are teaching, learning, building different applications, skills related to AI. And this last couple of months, I should say, is really related to what we have with generative AI, which is really exciting. As you may have heard, that we are having so many new updates and models, upgrades, and everything, like very frequently. But yeah, it's so excited to join on other Google developers communities. And also, I'm currently working as a curriculum developer in deep learning AI. I hope you get to know what is this platform. We actually have different generative AI short courses very often, because now there are many topics you can apply with generative AI and you can start building. And that's something I'm going to start sharing with you in this presentation. So let's get started. For starting, I wanna tell you a little bit story where I'm starting to use this tool actually, and I just wanted to share. A few weeks ago, I've been to Machu Picchu in Peru. It's been so exciting to get to know the culture, story, and also to get to know other tourists around. Many people from North America, Europe, getting to explore South America. Most people go, well, they told me, they go from Cusco to Bolivia and they want to visit places in Bolivia. And yeah, it's really cool that I also like visiting places in Bolivia, and I can give some information related to how is it going in Bolivia, for example, and just share. I have some of my favorite places related to mountains. As you can see, I like go up to the mountains. I've been to summits so far. Yeah, so many touristic places around. It's really cool that you can actually share this information. You can see I speak a lot and I can speak English with tourists. But also I realize that most of the information that we have here in Bolivia, that is good because tourists, the guides in this area are really nice, but most of them don't really speak much English and not their information, blogs, anything is like related to English. So I was thinking I can give references to these tourist people that they want to visit Bolivia, but also I want to find a way where they can also grab information that I can share, but they can use it and read it by themselves. And also, I want to use AI. How can AI can help on this? Besides asking on Google or another chatbot like which places to visit in Peru, which places to visit in Bolivia, and so, because I know also we can have narrow information. So, why not coming up with some idea for prototyping? And I've been following different startups so far in many places, and one methodology, one follow steps that I find really interesting is this design thinking, where actually you go through these 5 steps to build a prototype, an MVP, which I know is important for you now in this hackathon. But it's really cool on these steps of design thinking that you kind of have in the middle this idea. How are you going to actually get started on showing something, trying to see if something is going to work, right? So, for starting, we are going into empathize, like why tourists are having issues with finding information or very local information that might not be very known on internet or something. Then I can define, okay, so I want to work on this point or this other, or specifically on the mountains, something like that. And then with the idea, like with the best idea I can get, I can start like prototyping. And here there are many different technical tools, and what I like to use at the same time I'm learning how to use is Gemini, are the LLMs, and all these new technologies related to generative AI. So with that in mind, I was thinking it's really cool to have the idea to bring up information for tourists, and I want to help. I want to build something related to this area, and I have local information. I have friends in Peru, and I have this and the other. So what can I do? It's really cool, uh, or maybe it's weird that we just think first about chatbot. Yeah, everybody has their chatbots now, and they have been building chatbots for so long, if you remember. And I don't know, and let us know in the comments that if you have used a chatbot like 5, 7 maybe years ago, when you ask a question like, "I would like help with this airplane ticket" or something, for example, and the reply from the chatbot is like, okay, type one if you want refund, two if you want information, three or something. But it's like another type of interaction, right? But how cool would it be actually to use this natural language as the same way I'm telling something to you and you can reply? And it would be nice if someone wants to reply that. How was their experience with chatbots? I'm asking like in natural language, and you guys can reply in natural language, and yeah, kind of have this interactive conversation. But also, besides the tools and things we have been using in order to build these chatbots, a way of communications, it's also interesting to think now like the hype of using AI for your products, for your MVP or something related, right? So, how can you present your MVP or your idea there? It might be at some point you have seen maybe before on this like tell me something important about this product or this prototype. And yeah, maybe the best answer there, the funniest answer there might be it's AI power. Yeah, but we know that might not really be the best answer at all when you really want to highlight your product and that you are really using your your AI algorithms or something. Oh, here we have a comment. G. Villa here it says, oh yeah, chatbots. Chatbots are a little frustrating if your question doesn't fall into the three categories. Yeah, indeed. I've been using mostly for banks, I think, and airplanes, flights. Yeah, and it's been like, oh, terrible in the idea. Like I most of the time don't get the help I need, and I really end up like, can I talk to an operator? Can I talk to a human, or something related, which is also like weird. Anyway, beyond saying like just because this is a chatbot, this is AI power, or the hype is with AI and so. Thinking about my first idea about tourists, places to go in South America, and so on, it's cool that nowadays we actually have the technology that we can use or we can try, we can build an MVP, a prototype to start, like really building our idea, also related to what I just mentioned on design thinking. And there are many, and I'm sure you have gotten to know some of these, or maybe you test them all. Yeah, the most famous were people have been shifting this mindset into AI is smart and it's gonna give us the answers and it's gonna happen this replacing the jobs and this and the other. So it's also good to know how this works and how this will affect in different senses, right? So yeah, for that first one on ChatGPT, is it the OpenAI? But as I mentioned, there are many others, and it would be really nice if you also share in the chat like which other chatbots have you been using or have you tested maybe at some point. Here I'm just mentioning OpenAI with ChatGPT, a Meta ex Facebook that has their own language model related, which is called Llama. And yeah, heads up, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, it was released the new Llama tree. So it's also interesting there. And cool, Moses. Moses says in the chat is Mistral. Cool. I like it, Mistral too. Gemini, yeah, why not? It's a Google LLM, large language models. We are gonna get there in a little bit, but it's really cool in this part, like how this has been evolving so far. If you've been following these large language models, LLM things, thing with Google, it was last December they were launching like more capabilities for the language model, and also we had bar by the time, and now it's everything is Gemini. And this February, like 3 months ago, less than 3 months ago, it was also launched Gemma, which is also very cool and interesting for these Gen AI and language models. But at the same time, it's really cool for the open source community. So it's really an exciting time. So just let us know in the chat which other chatbots have you been also testing or using. I personally like using different chatbots and kind of build this prompt, like the very, very question I want to ask, and try that in the different chatbots and also try to understand the result in terms of how this chatbot is building this kind of answer. Huh? So, for my very first idea on traveling Peru and Bolivia and getting to share trying to share tourist package or this information from very local people and so on, I was thinking, okay, maybe a chatbot can be a good idea, but I'm not gonna build the rules to share on that side. I'm going to use large language models. Why not? Let's start using Gemini to test it up. And mostly, I'm going to use this other tool called AI Studio.google.com. You can enter this place and you'll find, oh, I'm sorry that it was like, there we go. So, this is the website when you can actually find interesting information to start using the Gemini large language model. From getting your API key, here are some API keys I created since last year. Yeah, it's fairly new last year. To start testing some projects, last update, maybe 2, 3 months ago, it was related that when you create an API, it gotta be kind of related to some Google Cloud platform, Google Cloud project that you may have. It's not really that hard or difficult, but it would be nice to relate it. And as a key, you also have to keep it safe and use it yourself for the project you want to be. And if you see here in the left, we have been using a bunch of new things are coming up. The newest is this tune model, which actually also lets you tune your one of these big models, large models that we are having. Here in this like low side in the left, we also are having some other resources. I just want to highlight this part, which is called the prompt gallery, and you can find it here. There we go. Hello. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah,
It's
I was like switching chats and I realized I just ended up the call. I'm sorry.
no
Okay,
worries.
I'm going to, well, you can find these links to resources also like in the slides, but yeah, I wanted to share it now. That's why I was like, where are the comments? And I better don't touch the comments here. So, I was telling you here, if you want to find some information, it's really cool. Okay, okay, I can actually share slides. Oh, sorry, share links here, but I won't touch anything else. Good. So, going to Google AI for developers, you find this site with the prompts. Prompts is actually like the sequence of steps or like command that you're asking these chatbots to do something. If you have ever used, well, sorry, bar Gemini, here you have this idea. Oh, first you can you can get started just using your Gmail account. So you can see here my Gmail account, and it gives you also some ideas like suggest beaches to visit in a city, help me pick a movie to watch based on genre. Give me phrases to learn a new language and stuff like that. So these kind of commands or petitions or questions that you want to ask to these um, models, to these language models, are called prompt. So what you see here, and you can just enter your prompt, and also it's cool. You can upload an image, and you can enter and have a result. You can have a response to what you've been asking for. So, if you want to get more inspiration on that side, it's really cool that you can start also testing what kind of prompts you can give and try. And you can see here Google AI for developers, they have their examples. Related to the question to Ahmed, Google AI Studio last year was released as MakerSuite. Maybe you have heard about MakerSuite, and it was available for Americas, few places in Europe, and other places in Asia. And I think now with the rebranding of AI Studio and also access to the API key, it's been to more countries. But they are kind of working most on having the accessibility to this other. So it depends of your country. I would suggest you can actually test it, and maybe you find it working, or to join a wait list to also have some kind of early access in some point. Yeah, sorry, it's so new that they are testing in different places, and also some countries areas they have their own policies or restriction about using accounts for other places or third parties. So that's the thing. But well, so if you come here to the AI Google dev prompt, we have this gallery, and you can find interesting information about recipe creator, marketing description, object identifier, list item, blog post creator, and yeah, a lot of things. And it's also cool. Let's see how this work. So this is gonna this takes us to this marketing description writer. And you can see here, actually, this is our prompt. And our prompt, uh, yeah, Vertex AI is the other tool that we can access. I saw it here. Yeah, you have to set up your Google Cloud account, billing console, everything. But yeah, you can access to Gemini through this platform if Google AI Studio is not working for you. What I like from Google AI Studio is I can start building on my library, like a bunch of stuff. Also, the one I want to show you. Um, because if you are well, if it's first time you are getting these kind of technologies or tools, it might be a bit like time consuming or long to start setting up Google Cloud, everything, to start just trying Gemini, right? So that's why I think I like this to prototype, because I want to do it fast to see if my idea makes sense, or if this actually have something interesting that I can work later on. So that's the point. But of course, if you have already an account, and yeah, I have many other accounts here, many other projects, sorry, here in Google Cloud, you're more than welcome to start testing. And just here, what I like, Vertex AI, is this model garden, where you can also find more other examples. Yeah, I mean, here it's like more stuff to do as well, since here you can directly connect to Google Cloud and have using it's cool. We have Gemini 1.0 Pro, 1.5 Pro, Vision, Cloud, Gemma, Llama. I've seen Mistral. Yeah, I've seen Mistral on Vertex AI. So it's a bunch of things. I'm going to use this biomed, I think. Yeah, so thank you, Ahmed, for question and bringing out these other resources. Really cool. Yeah, so this is the prompt in this example, marketing description right there. And there, for example, it says, given an image of a product and its target audience, write right, an engaging marketing description. So, what are my inputs? An image, which is a car. The target audience is mid-aged men. And voila, AI, do your work. And we have the marketing description we want for this kind of input. And it says, introducing the epitome of power and sophistication, the sleek and captivating sports car is more than just a car. It's a symbol of your passion, blah, 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 blah. So this is the input, and we are giving so few examples along the prompt. And when you test your prompt, you give it on run, we can have these kind of results. So we have the idea, the image of the product, the target audience, and also let's see if this run. So this is what I'm giving you. As a store, I have balls, and I want to target for athletes. And give me you AI, Google Studio, Gemini, and we are using Gemini provision. Give me the marketing description. And here we have introducing the basketball, a timeless classic that needs no introduction, blah, 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 blah. Of course, I can run it again and try to see what kind of reply. Because remember, every time we're having a result on this side, there is like token generation, like is generating the reply and the phrase and the description that we are asking in this prompt. And that's what we have. Take your game to the next level with this basketball. Whether you are shooting hoops in your driveway, blah blah. Cool, it works. And it's really nice. You can have it here. You can prototype your idea here. But if you have coding skills, you have a team where you can code and build something else, why not taking this a little bit beyond? And that's also what I like from this platform. You can go into get code. You have JavaScript, Python, undercoding, Swift. But I use Python. You can open a collab which is like online website, where you can have the Jupyter notebooks as well, and you have the code. You have the template here to get started. Of course, if you are running locally, you need to pip install Google Generative AI, which later you need to import Google that generative AI as Gen AI. You will need, of course, your API. The first thing I was mentioning about this platform, your API key to get connected to the Gemini LLM. Made some configurations, and we can see here prompt parts. How, in a way of coding, you're actually having all that was graphical, but now in that side with the images. The category was here, yeah, the audience target, and also to have the kind of reply you want. And also, if you see, this is what I'm building as the prompt engineer. Here, what I'm building as the marketing expert or with my team, because we are building the idea of what we are asking. If I just ask you, like, hey, I want a copy to promote this talk for the hackathon built with the eye, you will be okay, sounds good. But it will be different if I tell you I have this event hackathon with AI, which is for people with this background or interests from this age maybe. We want them to build something, and that's why this is happening. So the way you're asking is also has also big influence in how we are going to have the reply back. That's why we are also using a lot of examples, and you can see here you can have up to 500 examples where what I'm going to give you large language model, I'm going to give you an image, a target audience, and I want a text that's going to be marketing description. I'm going to give you two examples, and now that I'm going to give you more examples, I want you to make this description. And you can get further, as I was mentioning. You can build it on code. Here you have like the prompt parts, and you can have the image, with what we just saw. You can have all these details, and you can, for example, integrate it to your website. to your landing page, maybe for, or maybe to another site or platform from your company where you really want the marketing team to start using this generative AI. So now they have to focus on getting good images, product images, to be sure about the target, to actually play, get the copy, and maybe play again and get another copy. So we are kind of seeing some kind of shift. Some shift in task as well. And that's a good question, Moses. About tuning temperature, here is very simple. There is this option where you can take the temperature really to zero, and you can take the temperature really to one. You know, both are the two extremes. If we go to zero, we actually know that we are asking the model to respond with less creativity or randomness in the generation of the text. Let's see what we have here. But we can go to the other extreme to get to one. So we are allowing this model to actually give us a result, a response that can be really creative, really, let's take these random works, and actually you can see the difference here, right? In terms take your game and target audience, and yeah, it's taking this kind of freedom to add more stuff because I allow it. If you saw when we opened this example, by the way, this example is coming from the, oh, I miss it, from the from here, yeah, from the prompt gallery. It was around here, the temperature. So yeah, it's really how you can set up some stuff here, as well as safety setups. You can see you can actually block some, or block most, or block few, or actually, oh yeah, it won't give me block off, like two off. But yeah, I want to have some blocks for harassment, hate, and so on. Yeah, Ahmed, can I integrate the cloud with run functions? Yeah, and actually, this is really cool when you want to move a little bit forward with what I'm showing you guys, in the idea to use like Vertex AI, and actually to build these pipelines to get connected to cloud, and from there have, like productions. And yeah, so here are really cool examples as well that you can actually use to see like this pipeline, how is it working, how is it deploying. You see, open notebook and everything, because there are really cool examples and recommendations where you can actually also go and view models, and also deploy models from Hugging Face. Or I myself have test with Hugging Face Gradio, and I haven't, but I read about Streamlit if you are using Python. So it's really cool to have some sort of landing page where you can have like this, but less intimidating maybe for non-technical people. Because there goes my story. I've been using this. You can see I have some projects going on there. But for my first story about tourism in Peru and Bolivia, I've been using, I've been trying to test my idea. Like, I want a chatbot, but not really a chatbot, but I want to use Gemini to actually prototype this idea to give very local, accurate, important information to tourists from other places that might not speak Spanish, but this information might be Spanish. So I ask my friends who are guides from mountains that can take you to a trekking. I ask them to actually give me information, and you can see here Huayna Potosí is a mountain up to 6,000 meters above sea level. and it's really cool. It's been the first mountain I've been up, and yeah, it's 2 days. So I have all the information they have for this tour in a PDF file. Cool. But I have to think like most of these people that are doing some South America trip, they don't speak Spanish or they don't read, or you travel and you just want local information, but also accurate information on that. So I was thinking, why not prototype this idea, yeah, about not the chatbots, but the way to communicate information, where actually I'm building the prompt. I myself wrote this prompt. I know it can be better. It was also part of my testing. Next time I want to iterate, next time I want to try this. So I'm just asking, according to the attached document, you see this PDF, I need the following information: level of difficulty, how many days, how much cost, the altitudes, and yeah, this other topic, what's included. Remember, this PDF, all the information is in Spanish, and I'm asking to have this response for these questions. The questions are in English, the results are in English, the documents in Spanish, and I'm having a fairly enough response. I'm using Gemini 1.15 Pro. I can play with temperature here. I do can get the code. That's why I'm thinking I want to use this Python in my coding, and I want to build an interface with Google Gradio, because I was telling my friends, from the guys who are guides for mountains, I was like, oh, look at this. You don't need to do extra work on your PDF information. I'm just asking questions and having results. And they were like, cool. How can I use it now? Like, from where? How? And I was like, yeah, that's my first prototype. Like, this LLM, this idea seems to work, and I have the power of large language models behind to have the results. But of course, next step would be to actually take this code, to put it in an interface grade or something. I'm also thinking to have the option to upload PDF, and not even showing this prompt in question, just uploading the PDF and having the results like duration 2 days, cost, because I can also ask the cost to be converted in US dollar, for example, the altitudes, they included, and everything, just to be shown in another kind of interface. And that's going to be really cool actually from there. And that's where I'm building this prototype, which is actually using the power of large language models, but also this concept that is called multimodal. Multimodal means that along our prompt, and also trying to narrow their base of knowledge, we are also checking here. Um, we can attach something. I attach here a PDF, but I can attach an image, a video, an audio, a file, so on. And it's been really cool this last Google Cloud Next event in April. I've been there too, and it's been fun what they are showing with the power of Gemini to use this multimodal to actually upload a video from another event and ask through a prompt. I want a summary with the 5 most important points from this video, and it was a video 1 hour long, kinda. And yeah, they were having a fairly result. I'm also using Gemini for um, technical translations on English and Spanish. It's been really cool, and I give it the whole document in English or in Spanish, and I'm just asking in the prompt, like, I want to be translated to this other language, to use technical tone, and to keep the acronyms as they are, so they are not translated. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm trying to take advantage of this multimodal. And as I mentioned here, well, I'm really focused at this point the interesting capability that these models have about translation, about how to build an application. This very first part is very MVP part. Try to explain the idea, try to find out what would be useful for the clients, for the mountain guides, and so on. But also, as I mentioned, it's a great opportunity for us as developers to also take this idea in coding and in like to show us landing page in something beyond, which is actually like the other tools I'm aim to learn, to use, to show, like the collab, the using Python, Gemini API, now that we have the power also of Gemini Vision, to use these other platforms, tools, Streamlit, Hacking Face, to have a better sort of interface there. And yeah, so just to keep moving, give you more information. Also, we have Gemma, which is which was a release from February. And if you ask here in the Gemini, I have the question around here. What's the difference between Gemma and Gemini? And I want the output to be on the table. That's the only thing I ask. And you can see the large model is giving a result and it's actually also trying to understand through the features what are the difference between these two models. Trying to think about what's the type, what's the purpose, and what would be here the focus, the technical expertise, the open source, the customization. And if you want to get started with Gemma, which is also really cool and interesting, I'm just going to mention some examples. You will go to Kaggle, and if it's the first time you are entering to this URL, you will find something like this where you need to request access, which is mostly about the policies and privacy. But when you agree in that request access, you will have this interface, which is the one I already have. I have consented the license because remember this is open source. So yeah, you have this, and you can start finding more about the technical documentation, which I'm mostly interested in this responsible AI generative. Oh, wait, there we go. With this responsible generative AI toolkit, same for Vertex. Yeah, but because of timing, I just want to mention few interesting projects I have found that are being developed in the with Gemma. If you go here to the to this kind of challenge that was launched this year, AI assistance for data task, because Gemma is going to be focused in text, which is really interesting as well, and really important for open source community, right? How this model open source is actually working, and you can find a lot of things. Oh, that Gemma is also using Keras as the base in the backside. Yeah, and just to inspire or think in this side. Yeah, I'm going to share the link with you. It should be here. Yes. I want to mention this project that has been really cool with me, that it seems really cool for me. I want to test it myself, which is actually with the idea about acing a data science interview. It's cool. You have the coding here and also like the data set for fine tuning, some other references. And actually, what I like trying is like I'm copying this to a notebook to a collab and trying to run it by myself and try to see how it works. But you see here is like I'm just asking you, give me some questions with their answers as if I were to go to a data science interview. But the second part is actually now installing Keras because we're using Keras in the backend and Gemma to build something else, which is in this case also questions answers that will help me study for a data science interview. So I think this is really cool. It will be nice you can keep testing to understand actually how it better work because it's going to be very useful to contribute to community to also test and find what is working, what is not working from different places around the world. And yeah, the other example, text summarization with Vera. And one more example that I'm sure is going to help you to prototype ideas and to prototype your idea for this hackathon or for another project you want to, is this MediaPipe Studio. If you go to MediaPipe-Studio, this is related to have on-device machine learning for everyone. It's been a couple of months, maybe year, I think so. That's been powered by AI applications like object detection, image classification, text. But what I have found interesting while I'm learning, studying, practicing, building with generative AI is this one for the LLM inferences. So you will also have access to these links where you can find more information. And if we go to this demo, where how I want to build this demo that's going to work on device, a mobile application, an IoT, something, you have to choose a model. And what is expecting to be loaded here is Gemma. So that's why they send you also to Kaggle to start doing all. Once you download Gemma and you upload it here, you can start chatting and you have large language model inference there. So it's really cool. Also, if you want to test a little bit about AI for your prototype that is using mobile or another on-device requirement. Cool. So to finish, because we are on time, you want to learn more about generative AI? We are sharing with you these slides with this link to different resources, just to have the idea what we have been doing in this last couple of years related to predictive machine model is to have with our data with their labels to actually output the label, which can be classification, image of a cat, not a cat, the prediction of a next value on a regression. But it's really cool that when we enter to the generative AI era, we are having actually unstructured content, finding patterns on this, and the output is going to be related to new generation. As I was mentioning, I'm getting this token, the next token, the next token. I'm building a phrase, I'm building a paragraph, and I'm doing more stuff. And the idea to actually have an output from generative AI is that this can be related to have an output as natural language. As I was mentioning here, when I'm asking, for example, Gemini versus Gemma, for example, and the result is not like a specific code for developers, nor code for another researchers. It's just language. I'm going to give you the differences between this and this. Or I can ask to generate images, DALI, many others, and as was mentioned here, I can ask, for example, a draft an image that represent Google developers community around the world. Let's see what's going to happen. We can have images, we can have audios, and for the other side, we can have these others outputs, number, discretes, what we have already known in this, in this time so far related to develop a machine learning model. So you can see here, oh, cool. I think I like this better, but you can keep you can keep updating your prompt. The good idea there is to keep iterating, like how are you going to have. Oh, okay. Google developers community around the world. There we go. Okay, we're gonna see what's going to give us there. Cool. And with the idea of generative AI, we need to go to large language models. To have the idea, oh, sorry, here also you have the link to Cloud Skills Boost that's going to give you some short course about what is this topic. And if you complete it with the video and the short exam, you actually get this digital badge, which is really cool. So when we talk about large language model, we need to think about deep learning. If you imagine artificial intelligence, one part of machine learning, and the different topics in machine learning, and we focus on deep learning, artificial neural networks, we are finding a specific study on this. And the develop and improvements on deep learning algorithms that's taking to this kind of applications: generation, summary, translate, sentiment analysis, chatbot, syntactic, semantic relation, that everything, as you can see, is mostly related to natural language processing. And as I was mentioning before, this is also related to large language model. There are many companies. The companies are in this in this race to launch the new versions, to have the multimodal capabilities, and so on. And here, just to have the idea to actually compare Gemma from Google and Llama from Meta. And what we are comparing are the outputs to the prompts, in the idea to find out what about reasoning, what about math, what about code, and how this can better improve actually on that. And yeah, if we want to go deeper in this study, we need to read this paper, which is Attention is All You Need, where the transformer architecture, the one you can see on the right, has been actually presented, has been revealed in an application for language translation. And thanks to this deep learning architecture, we are having all these changes, all these applications with chatbots, all this multimodal, where we can actually have this these examples related. And yeah, because the main characteristic on this architecture, as you can see in the image, is attention. Attention is all you need. That's why my cats are there. And also the transformers architecture, which is the base for many other applications. And I just added this image. This is a building in Bolivia, which is called Transformer because of the presentation on the architecture. And yeah, so with that, I want to share with you, to end it up, one TED talk I found interesting about open source for AI and how we can build community on this. And I'm just giving you the links to the resources: Cloud Skills Boost, Deep Learning AI, short courses. Specifically in this course, we're using Palm and understanding about Google Gemini. I'm also having, I also write in English and Spanish about these new technologies. And yeah, I think we have 5 minutes for for questions. Thank you so much for your attention. I've seen there are stuff I didn't reply. I hope yeah, you can message me or tweet. Yeah, it would be nice to see if we figure out these questions. But also, I would really like to know how you guys are starting to use Gemini, generative AI in general. Yeah, it's really cool. And also, the community is here. Thank you, Javi, that we have this information as well. And yeah, thank you again for your attention.
Thank you, Leslie, for your talk. It was really insightful. And yeah, if anyone has any question, please drop those here, and I'm pretty sure that Leslie will be able to answer them. I'm sharing the link for joining the official Google Discord. So if you guys want to talk and check the new things, you can just go there and join the Discord. Specifically, if you want to join the current Gemini hackathon, you can just go there and find all the information. So we have one question from Ahmed that says, "Can we have API call as output in GenAI to automate tasks, etc.?"
I'm thinking about that. I haven't seen that as a output right now, but I'm considering there should be an answer because I've seen there has been improvements in having the response from the prompts because of the API call as a JSON. So I'm thinking there might be on that, but it would be nice as a developer community. We can also ask, like we would like to have this kind of outputs to automate tasks. Yeah, that's insightful, Ahmed. Mhm.
Yep. I know that there's a Gemini function calling on Vertex that you can create your external tools and your integrations, and you can automate that using the Gemini function. There's one talk from Christopher Overholt that showcased this feature, which is really exciting. So yeah, you can check that out. Johannes Charles is asking about, yeah, he's requesting the links for models. I think it is there. It's the Kaggle one for Gemma. So that's there. Any other questions? Now that we have Leslie here. If not, I think that's a wrap. Thank you so much, Leslie, for taking your time to give such a great presentation with us today. And thank you, everyone that joined us today. And if you want to continue the conversation, you can just join the Discord server and start from there.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you so
so much.
much. My pleasure to share with you guys. And yeah, as Javi mentioned, join the GTC community, share your projects, your ideas, your questions. We are here to support you and to build also this AI important thing that's going on with the models. Thank you so much.
Perfect. See you. Bye bye.